What if I told you that the reason your life keeps falling apart right when things start going well has nothing to do with bad luck, nothing to do with timing, and everything to do with a force that Carl Jung himself spent decades trying to understand? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will fundamentally change how you move through the world. And once you see it, you will never unsee it. Carl Jung said that the collective unconscious connects every human being through invisible psychic threads. And nowhere are those threads more dangerous than when they carry the weight of envy, directed at someone who feels everything. You see, most people think the evil eye is superstition, something ancient, something irrelevant. But Jung's research revealed something that should make every empath stop and pay very close attention. Here's what nobody is telling you about why your blessings keep getting disrupted. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why silence is your greatest weapon. According to Carl Jung, there exists within the collective unconscious what he called archetypal patterns of destruction. These patterns activate not randomly, but in response to specific triggers. And one of the most powerful triggers, visible success in someone the group unconsciously perceives as a threat. The empath who begins to thrive, to heal, to glow, sends a signal into the collective field. And that signal awakens something ancient and deeply hostile in those who have refused their own transformation. But here's where it gets absolutely critical for your survival. Carl Jung discovered that psychic energy, what he called libido in its broadest sense, doesn't just flow within individuals, it flows between them. When someone fixates on you with envy, with resentment, with that specific cocktail of admiration and hatred, they're directing concentrated psychic energy toward you. And the empath, with their naturally thin boundaries, receives that energy like an open wound receives salt. You feel it before you can name it. The sudden heaviness, the unexplained anxiety, the creeping sense that something is wrong even when everything should be right. That's not paranoia. That's what Jung called psychic intrusion. And it's absolutely real. Listen carefully to what happens next, because this is the mechanism most empaths never understand until it's too late. According to Carl Jung's theory of synchronicity, the outer world and the inner world are connected through meaningful patterns. When jealous energy is directed at an empath, it doesn't just affect their mood. It begins to distort the field around them. Opportunities collapse, relationships fracture, health deteriorates. Not through magic, but through what Jung called the constellation of negative archetypes. The empath's own unconscious, flooded with hostile projected energy, begins to attract circumstances that mirror that hostility. You're not cursed, you're contaminated. And there's an enormous difference, because contamination can be stopped. But here's the part that will reshape everything you thought you knew about protection. Carl Jung said that the shadow operates most effectively in the light. Read that again. The shadow operates most effectively in the light. What does this mean for empaths? It means that every time you announce your healing, broadcast your growth, display your joy openly and without discernment, you are giving the shadow exactly what it needs to target you. You're painting a bullseye on your transformation. Jung understood something that ancient cultures knew instinctively. Sacred things must be protected by silence, not because silence is weakness, but because silence is strategy. And here's where Jung's work becomes absolutely game-changing for every empath who has ever wondered why things keep going wrong. Carl Jung identified what he called the temenos, a sacred psychological container where transformation occurs. In ancient Greek culture, the temenos was a protected space around a temple, a boundary that separated the sacred from the profane. Jung applied this concept to the psyche. He discovered that every individual needs a temenos around their most vital processes, their healing, their growth, their becoming. Without that container, psychic energy leaks outward, and leaked energy attracts predators. The empath who moves loudly through their transformation is an empath without a temenos. They are performing their sacred work on an open stage, and the audience is not always kind. But here's what most people completely miss about moving in silence, and this is where it gets fascinating. According to Carl Jung, silence isn't absence. It's presence turned inward. He called it introversion of libido, the conscious redirection of psychic energy away from the external world and toward the inner self. When an empath moves in silence, they're not hiding. They're concentrating. Every blessing that isn't announced is a blessing that can't be targeted. Every victory that isn't displayed is a victory that remains intact. Every transformation that happens in quiet is a transformation that completes itself fully before the world ever gets a chance to interfere. Jung discovered that the most profound psychological changes always happen in containment. The seed grows in darkness. The child forms in the womb, the gold is forged in the sealed crucible, and the empath's power crystallizes in silence. But here's the final truth, and it's the one that changes everything permanently. Carl Jung said that those who understand the mechanics of projection become immune to its effects. The evil eye, in Jungian terms, is nothing more than concentrated unconscious projection, fueled by envy and directed at a visible target. Remove the visibility, and you remove the target. Not forever, not in fear, but strategically, consciously, with full understanding of what you're doing and why. The empath who moves in silence doesn't stop living fully. They stop performing their fullness for an audience that secretly wishes them empty. They don't stop growing. They stop announcing their growth to people who are threatened by it. They don't stop shining. They stop shining in rooms full of people who would rather sit in darkness. This is what Jung called conscious withdrawal. Not retreat, not isolation, but the deliberate, strategic, psychologically sovereign choice to protect what is sacred by refusing to expose it to what is hostile. The empath who masters this becomes something extraordinary. They grow without interference. They heal without disruption. They transform without sabotage. Their blessings arrive and remain because no one was given the opportunity to project destruction onto them before those blessings could take root. Carl Jung spent his entire career studying the invisible forces that shape human destiny. And one of his most powerful conclusions was this: the greatest power is not the power that is seen. It's the power that operates unseen, unfelt, undetected by those who would seek to destroy it. The empath who moves in silence carries that power, not as a burden, not as a limitation, but as the ultimate expression of self-knowledge, self-protection, and self-mastery. And once you understand this truth, truly understand it, you will never again wonder why life requires you to move quietly. You'll simply know. And that knowing will be your shield, your strategy, and your freedom.